All right, the recording has started, and this is the August 11th, 2020 Rook community meeting. We normally start off with our milestone checkup, so let's go ahead and do that now. So we have been doing a series of hotfixes and patches for 1.3. We've been continuing to service that release. Travis, do you want to give us a quick update on where we are with 1.3.10? I guess is the next one.
Yep. Yeah, there have been a couple of fixes since 1.3.9, which was that a week and a half ago already? No, wait, that was just last week, right before the 1.4 release. So yeah, since then there's been another fix or two. I don't think we're in any hurry to do a .10 release. So maybe in a couple more weeks, or even longer, we can get that out. But
were any of those then, Travis, related to security issues too? Then that might be good to get out at a regular kind of schedule, or nothing pressing there on the security front?
Let's see. I mean, the security fixes really just went into 1.4, so I didn't want to risk a backport for some of those changes to 1.3. Unless there's some CVE, some of the other security feedback, I wanted to make sure it had a better chance to stabilize in 1.4, or so it's in 1.4 but not 1.3.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense then.
Right.
All right. So we are 1.3. Yeah, it seems
no
like
hurry for 1.3.
Got it. Right. All right, then 1.4 though, we got that out just last week. I think that was on a day that I took off. It goes on Thursday. So sorry I wasn't around to review any of the PRs to get them through, but congratulations on getting that out, Travis.
Yep, good to have that out. We're chasing some last minute upgrade issues as usual. I mean, that's always the last thing to test, since we want to make sure upgrade is fully manually tested. And so that looked good. A big change around that upgrade that we made at the last minute was getting rid of updating our RBAC so that we no longer use aggregated roles. We just don't need to use those. So I removed those. It required a little extra testing, but we seem to be in a good place still with that. So that's, yep, 1.4 is out. It's good to have that. Thanks everyone for your contributions.
Travis, did that removal of aggregated roles, did that have any significant impact to a migration to go from the previous version to the latest version without that is not using the aggregated roles?
No, the upgrade guide. In the upgrade guide, it had to add an extra step for basically removal of the old roles that we're not using anymore, and then installing the new ones. But they were already copy and pasting a command, so it was just part of that same copy paste in the upgrade guide. And then for those using in the help chart, there's no extra steps. The help chart just handles it just fine.
Oh, nice. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Any issues that are on the board here that folks want to call out or bring up for any quick discussion within this audience here?
So the one in the blocking releases column there, it really looks like a CI only issue, and Seb and I are trying to track that down because it's really causing a lot of CI failures with the integration tests. But it still does look like just a CI issue with creating OSDs. Yep, but just so you're aware, there are too many failures right now, and we definitely need to track that down quickly.
Yeah, definitely the build notifications channel has had a little more activity than previously.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been quite a while since we've had consistent green builds in master and release builds, but with that one in particular, it's really causing more than usual on the failures. And then
cool, so
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and then so we're shooting for a 1.4.1 hotfix by Thursday.
Yeah, that's my plan. That's what I was just going to say too. But we do have a number of important fixes. I think just waiting a couple more days to get anything else that crops up from the release will be good. And we'll get that out.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, it's nice that we'll be able to talk about 1.4, being released and available next week during KubeCon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we had it in our recording, so it's a good thing we got it out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because Alex and I did as well.
Yep.
Cool. And then 1.5, quarterly type of release a few months down the line, but in November, that looks like that would line up nicely with KubeCon North America, which is sure to be virtual as well.
Yeah, I saw on the KubeCon site that it's definitely virtual now. And remember the dates of that offhand? Was it mid-November?
I don't remember off the top of my head, actually. That's a good question. I don't think it's early November, though.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So if it's mid-November, we could shoot for 1.5 the week before or something. That sounds good.
Cool. Anything else for milestones or releases?
Nope.
Alrighty. Okay, so let's move ahead then to the community topics section. So first topic in this section here will be an update on the graduation process. So we had our monthly sync up with the CNCF representatives yesterday, Monday, and the voting for graduation by the Technical Oversight Committee is still outstanding. It's still ongoing. There are 2 binding votes that have been cast, but the process for the voting is definitely slower than we would have hoped for or would have been expecting. So we kind of had a little chat with the CNCF representatives and got some confirmation that there are a lot of votes ongoing right now for the Technical Oversight Committee with new projects and a lot of other things moving to incubation, some other ones in graduation, and a whole lot of KubeCon activity going on as well. There does not seem to be a major concern about the full set of votes being cast yet or not. We still, 100% of the votes that have come in are approving it. So I don't think there's anything severely shaking our confidence here. It's just a slow, very unfortunately slow process. Everything that was all the feedback from TOC members on the due diligence document has been responded to and incorporated. So thank you, Travis, for following up with all the security related issues there that Justin Cormack was asking about. So I think we're good there. There's nothing outstanding on the due diligence document. We're just gonna have to continue waiting for the TOC votes to be cast.
Yeah, it really is just frustratingly slow waiting for votes. That's all we can do, wait for votes.
Yeah, so everything, there appears to be nothing left on our plate to do at all for moving it along or assuaging concerns or anything. So we will play it cool.
Yeah, just another note on the security review. So thanks, Subham, for the help on getting a lot of those security issues fixed, and then GoSec is enabled now in the CI, so it is a requirement to be GoSec clean before we merge.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great addition. Yeah, thanks for the work on that, Subham.
Thank you.
What is out of curiosity, how much time does that take to run? Is that a fairly quick assessment, or does it run in parallel, or it's not that long?
It runs in parallel with the CI, one of the GitHub rules.
Oh, like a status, the GitHub status check?
Right. And it takes 4 or 5 minutes, I think.
Okay, yeah, which is nothing compared to the CI or the integration tests.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then that was responded to the feedback on the due diligence doc about that specifically as well, correct?
Right. Yeah, I responded back to Justin saying, "Hey, GoSec is enabled now. We're really done with the security follow-up, except for these certain issues, which, like EdgeFS needs to rewrite on controller runtime for one issue, and there's another issue where Ceph upstream needs a fix to stop logging the dashboard password, but nothing we can do in Rook for that." And yep.
And that status is clearly communicated as well. It's not, oh, all security things are done. It's no big deal. It's those outstanding issues are clearly communicated with the doc.
Right. To the best of my ability, at least. Yep.
Great. Alrighty. Okay, let's, how about we talk about KubeCon then? So we got the Project Pavilion. We have our virtual booth there. Travis, did you need any assistance or any questions or anything about the virtual booth setup that I am medium expert in?
Right. Yeah. So I started to set it up, and I added a couple of people, maintainers in there, but then I got errors for adding a couple other people that it said already existed in the system or something.
Yeah, if they're already registered as a speaker, and then speaker as opposed to like a pass comp code thingy, then you have to manually reach out. Like I sent an email to Tia, I think her name is. I think that's her name is. To add them to the booth itself. We can't do it ourselves, unfortunately.
Oh, we can't add them if they're a speaker?
Yeah, if they're already a speaker. Yeah, exactly.
That's the error. Because I must have gotten an issue for you and error for you, and then gave up.
I've run into these issues with the other CNCF booth I'm setting up.
Yeah. Other than that, did you find a way to so we can organize who's logging in to respond to these questions, or we'll just have to do it informally or in Slack or whatever?
Yeah, not really, because the booth hasn't been live yet until just today. So, setting it up with all the information and for the staff and contents and stuff like that, I've had experience with. But in terms of actually handling visitors and stuff like that, we should probably play around with it to see what the platform allows, because I think you couldn't do any of that stuff until today when it became live, quote unquote live.
You can. Okay, I haven't tried logging in today. I think it told me my password changed too, so hopefully
yeah, exactly. The password it changes to your confirmation code for your registration to the entire conference now. It's no longer the very secure email login password combo.
Right. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, and then so I'm happy to help, and we can dig into any of that stuff, Travis. No problem at all. And then the one thing I'm not sure if I quite got the information on or wrote it down correctly, but for the talks, the deep dive and the intro sessions, we already recorded and submitted all of our presentations. I know that, but was it clear what speakers are supposed to do in terms of the Q&A for their sessions? Like, is there a special way to log in to be set up to, have the right audio, video, chat, etc. to do Q&A, or is that, do you know?
I haven't looked deeply, but my understanding was that we should log in during the talk to answer questions that are coming through the chat. I didn't, I just assumed it was through a chat. I'm not sure if there's an audio option or video.
Okay. Seb or Alexander, do you know about that? Like, what we need to do for when our talks are ongoing, if how to answer questions, if it's audio, video, or if it's just chat?
I don't remember as well. I'm not sure though from our yesterday call if there is even an option to that. Didn't Chris or Amy, I think, was it Amy?
Yeah, her name's Amy.
Yeah. I think, didn't they mention that it's none of both, that it's just afterwards with the booth or something?
I think what they're referring to is that like attendee to attendee networking and stuff like that will all be through Slack. But I believe that there's definitely an in-platform way to do Q&A for your talks and your sessions, but it doesn't look like we have a good understanding of that yet.
So you guys figured out for the intro session and then tell us for the deep dive.
The intro comes first, right? We're on to
you're Tuesday, right?
Yeah, we're Tuesday.
Yeah, ours is until Thursday.
Okay. Okay, we'll let you know what happens or what not to do if we mess it up.
Right.
Either way, we'll let you know.
What time is yours? Is yours pretty early?
Ours is like
but
ours is 1300 or 1355 or so Central European time. So like
the good time,
4 a.m. Pacific.
Is that, I hate to ask, what's that in Eastern time?
I think at Eastern that's around 7 a.m. or so, maybe.
I'll be attending, so I said I'm kibitzing here. I just want to know 7 a.m. I got to be up. That's fine. Thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty early for you, but I think they made the compromise there
Right.
of starting at 13. Like that's basically lunchtime here. Well,
Yeah.
so
Well, if it's 1300, it should be -6. So would that be that 9
Yeah,
o'clock?
it's 7 a.m. for East Coast, and then
Or wait, 7 a.m. Okay.
5 a.m. for
5 a.m. for
Mountain,
me.
and then 4 a.m. for Pacific.
Lovely.
Woo!
no, but
Well, it
Maybe I
was
won't
supposed
make
to
it.
be in Amsterdam, right? So
Yeah, I respect that, Sebastian. I respect that. It's poor planning on my part for leaving Europe like 2 days before the conference starts. That's the stupid part. I mean, I'm in Europe, like that's where I am, but
Right.
not next week.
Okay.
Okay, we'll let you know though anything that if I find out anything about the Q&A, I'll pass out that information along.
Yep.
All right. So Google Summer of Code. I think I saw Ahmad join the call. Yes, Ahmad is here. Ahmad, do you want to give us a quick update about your work that you're doing this week on the NFS disk quota?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Jared. In this week, I already done implementing provisioner, but it's not merged yet. And I working on NFS disk quota design in this week also, and doing some research about how to implement this quota and some best practice to implement this. And it is also a impact from my previous implementation about control provisioner that I think I already have a solution before that given by Mr. Jared yesterday.
Yeah, we had a chat with the other mentors, Ashish and Rohan as well. The four of us did, Ahmad and then the three mentors. And it looks like you're kind of bringing together the NFS provisioner into the co-locating it with the NFS server pod. Makes a lot of sense for sharing of resources there and being able to provision a file system and set a quota on it, etc. So it makes a lot of sense to do the provisioner co-located with the NFS server. So that makes a lot of sense from our discussion or design chat that we had there. Cool. And then this is Ahmad's last scheduled or planned feature item for the summer. So he is still kind of remaining ahead of schedule, which has been fantastic. And then when Ahmad finishes this, it's kind of a little up to him on what direction he might want to go to, or maybe even work on another storage provider in Rook before his summer and Google Summer of Code is over. So Ahmad's done a great job and stayed ahead of schedule, and see what other cool stuff he'll be able to do this summer.
Yeah, sounds good. When's the summer officially over? End of August or so?
Yeah, I think it goes into September. The final evaluation is like very beginning of September or so. So I think there's a couple more weeks, at least a few more weeks.
Cool.
All right, awesome. Okay, and then project planning for 1.5.
Yeah, I put that in there. But actually, before that, I have some breaking news. I just saw vote number 3 binding come through from SAD. Yes.
From SAD?
Nice of our sponsor to give us a vote, right?
It's +1, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
+1.
That would have been really funny if our TOC sponsor was like -1 binding. Oh, good. Like, oh,
Right.
Come on. Awesome. Yay. Okay, good. We got 3 votes now. Hooray.
Yes. Anyway, back to planning. So with the release of 1.4, of course, we should put together what's happening for 1.5, update the roadmap doc, and all of that. So if anybody wants to take a first stab at that, great. I'll plan on taking a stab at it too, for the Ceph operator in particular, and any other general items I can think of. But yep, happy to have input there on what we should prioritize.
Awesome. Sounds good. That's great. All right. We didn't have any particular PRs or issues added here, so that is the end of the agenda items that were added before the meeting here. Is there anything, any agenda item that folks on the call would like to bring up that aren't in the doc? Okay. All right then. So if that is everything we had for this call today, then hopefully we will see lots of folks next week at KubeCon and be able to interact and catch up and talk to the community and have a good old time. But definitely come check out the intro and deep dive talks in the virtual booth that we'll have set up in the projects pavilion section of the conference. That'll be really cool. I think that the KubeCon has like complimentary passes available that it's free, and I think you get to do all the the talks that you want to, and I think the booths as well. But I think what you don't get to do is the keynotes. So if you just want to attend KubeCon, the complimentary passes are available, and then I think the general admission is like $75 or something like that. So it's quite reasonable. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to catch up and connect with a lot of folks next week at KubeCon.
Yep. See you there.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good
Have a good
day.
night.
Bye.